Welcome to Behind the Veil. Now, here is your transformational coach, Tammy Hall.
Okay, so here's how I like to start these. I like to start these with incredible intention, knowing that intention precedes everything. So, my intention for our time together with this little itty bitty time we have together, my intention is to get you as much healing and clarity as possible, especially around this idea of attracting narcissistic, toxic men.
Oh, okay. That's definitely a thing I do.
If I could give you one thing on this call that would offer you the most benefit to your life right now for the positive, what would that one thing be?
Gosh, I don't know how to do self-care. I try really hard. I think I've kind of grasped the concept a little bit, but I noticed that I self-sabotage. I had been doing the whole eating healthy and going to the gym, and then I just stopped.
Why do you self-sabotage?
I don't know. I can't figure out why.
Guess for me.
I don't.
Why would someone sabotage themselves?
Maybe because I'm used to the normal patterns.
What are you used to?
I'm used to the normal patterns of not being enough. And so if I kind of fully become the best version of myself, then I don't know how that would feel.
You don't know how it would feel? How do you imagine it'd feel?
I don't know, just right off the top of my head, I think that it would make me pickier because I feel like I have options right now because I'm not super picky because of just, so I feel like if my self-esteem is higher, it's going to get lonelier.
Okay, so you'll be lonely if you get picky.
Yep.
So if you value yourself, that means you'll get picky. And if you get picky, that means you'll be lonely.
I'm already getting picky trying to date. And so I can only imagine what it would be like.
Right now I'm just trying to find your beliefs. So if you care enough about yourself and you value yourself too high, that means you'll be pickier, which already that's pretty negative connotation, right?
Yeah.
And then if you get pickier, that means you'll be alone, which is a very negative connotation, right? So we went from, we went up the negative ladder, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So that makes sense. I got to tap into your belief systems fast. So if I take care of myself, if I value myself, that'll make me picky. And if I'm picky, that means I'll be lonely. Where did you learn this, this patterning of beliefs?
I am not. I know that I had this whole not being enough thing from being a kid, and I have some major abandonment issues from that.
Okay, abandonment. Okay, good. That's where we'll go today.
Yeah, I think that's the big piece is these abandonment issues. I will accept way less than I deserve, just for that purpose. I mean, I have a broken nose. I'm talking to you right now. I was in the ICU 2 years ago because my ex tried to kill me. So, I mean, I've lived it. It's been a process. So I'm literally waiting for my nose to get reconstructed right now. I'm waiting for the doctor to rebuild it for me.
Yeah, we gotta stop this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're laughing through the pain, but you're in serious pain. I don't mean physical, I mean emotional.
Yeah.
But you know, when anyone comes to me and they say, I keep attracting these toxic relationships, I already know that they have a very toxic relationship with themselves. And so my goal, right? Because as within, so without, right? It's just a law that governs the universe. And so here you are just beating yourself up internally. And so whatever I can do in this short period of time to get you to stop doing that, I'm going to do that. So are you open to deep diving into this pattern and really looking at it? Because here's what the process I like to do. One, when we neutralize the event,
Hmm.
we extract the emotion from it. So an event is still active within you, a traumatic event is still active within you when
Hmm.
the emotion hasn't been fully extracted from it. Do you know what
Hmm.
I mean by that? That's where we get triggered. A trigger happens. Ooh, what's being triggered? It's that old wound that's being poked, right? So the first goal is to pull the energy or emotion out of the event so that it doesn't get poked. You could
Hmm.
watch it neutrally and just be like, oh, that was just an event, almost as if it didn't happen to self,
Yep.
right? So that's one goal. And then the other goal is really to understand and find that exact belief that was developed in the event.
Hmm.
So those are the two goals that I go into this process with to find. But before we do that, and of course, you got to be nice and open for that. Have you
Yep.
done some inner work already?
I have.
Uh-huh.
I stayed in bed for about 6 months after I got out of the ICU. Didn't move, didn't do, I mean, I literally just turned off myself to the world. And then eventually I started kind of rebuilding. I developed this kind of weird facial dysmorphia because my face looks different than it used to. Um, and so it took me like a year after to even take a selfie. And then I slowly started dating, and I started to date some good, fairly good guys. Um, but what I notice is that I make excuses for anything that I don't like. And what I've also realized as I'm thinking about this is I don't want people to hurt the way that I've been hurt and feel like they're not enough. So if I'm critical, so I don't like to be critical of the men because I don't want to hurt them the way that I've been hurt. So,
So, and critical is what to you?
um, I guess being saying what I like and don't like, or what I don't like, and kind of telling people that I'm not interested.
So you have to like everyone's stuff all the time.
Yeah, it's so irrational, but
It's what it does is what I'm doing is I'm extracting from you your own belief system so that you could
yeah,
see it, right?
yep,
Because we have these patterns because we were programmed with them. And until we see the patterns, we can't change them. So I'm just getting you to understand your own belief system, right? So you believe that you get to do everything that everyone else says so that you don't hurt their feelings. But in
yeah,
the end, who are you hurting?
yeah.
Your own feelings over and over
Hmm.
and over and over and over again. So here you are in this abusive pattern with yourself. I want to let's deep dive. I want to deep dive into the patterns of these men because I want to know the history. How did we get from in a romantic partner where you're letting him beat the shit out of you and almost kill you?
I have a good idea. This is some of the inner work I've done.
Okay.
Um, I just don't, I guess I probably still need to let it go. So when I was little, my mom had an addiction issue. And she sent me to be raised by my aunt for a while. And that kind of messed with my abandonment issues. And my dad lived a couple blocks away. And he'd occasionally see me, but my whole thought the whole time was, why can't my dad just take me if my mom can't take me? Um, when I eventually My dad got married and I eventually moved with them when I was 13, he was physically abusive.
Oh, there we go.
He'd get really angry and he would beat me. And did that for a couple of years until they saw that it was taking a huge toll on me. Nobody believes me and my family to this day. I tried to confront it and tell him, Dad, you used to hit me. And he denied it. My family didn't talk to me for about 6 months. I spoke my truth and let it go. And so when I
Mhm.
did get put in the ICU, I wasn't going to let my family know. They didn't seem like a safe space anymore. And my nurse came in one day and said, um, "You haven't talked to any of your family. You should probably call them." So I called my stepmom. Long story short, they flew me home after I was in the ICU, and my dad took care of me for a month. And he was very. This part chokes me up because he was very. He had a really rough. I could tell he had guilt. I could tell that he was emotional about it. We still didn't speak about it, but because he's not open like that. But I could tell that he had guilt, and so he did little things like, he gave me a hug, and he would make sure that I was eating, and took me to my doctor's appointments and stuff like that. So it kind of became a full circle moment. And I say, because I think that there's still some of that lingering.
Okay, so now take me to the relationships.
Hmm.
How many abusive relationships have you had?
Um,
Physically abusive.
physically abusive, only 2, but it was back to back. I didn't heal from the first one.
Okay, and then have all your relationships been abusive on some level?
On some level, yeah, either neglectful or um, my ex-husband was an alcoholic, more of an alcohol abuser. He doesn't drink, not standard alcoholic. Um, and then my mom eventually died from her alcoholism. So,
Okay, so let's go into the most abusive one, which I'm guessing is the one who almost killed you.
what's weird is it kind of wasn't. It was so weird. Such a weird
Okay.
situation. He had never laid a hand on me, but then one night I woke up to him beating me. I woke up to him punching me. I can still see it I still see it. I still see his eyes. I still see there was a deadness in his eyes, and I could just it's like I was witnessing it, but it wasn't happening to me. And I remember thinking to myself, this is how it starts. He was very selfish, definitely narcissistic. Um, but he had never laid a hand on me. He would just do really crappy, mean things like bring other women over to our house and insult me while he flirted with them in front of me. Really just sadistic, mean stuff that really dug away at my worth.
And
And then
you,
the one before that was probably more the scary abusive. And I have a restraining order against him. I got a 4-year restraining order. It ends in June.
and what did that relationship look like?
Um, him and his 2 boys moved in with us, with me and my 2 boys, and he was constantly angry. So we're both veterans. I'm a 100% disabled veteran for PTSD. He is also a disabled veteran, and it was a lot of, well, you're not really as disabled as I am because you're a woman and you wouldn't have had to go through, so it was just a lot of me setting my stuff aside to really take care of him and make sure he was okay. And he would get angry about just about anything. So I would tiptoe around, and it got to the point where I stopped speaking up. Maybe that's where that comes from. I stopped speaking up because it was just easier. Because if I did advocate for myself, he would fly off the handle and lose it and get really mean. I think that's where that habit comes from.
No, it comes far earlier than that.
Yeah.
Our entire personality is almost fully in place by the age 7.
Oh, yeah.
So, but you have to understand, most of us don't have these like really defined memories of those early years. Your emotional state and structure was almost fully solidified by the age 7. So, can you learn more and develop? Yes, you can. But the majority of who you are is developed in those first 7 years. So, there's oftentimes when I'm taking people through this process that I'm about to take you through, sometimes they can't get there on the first try. In fact, sometimes it takes quite a few. But just know that it always goes back to that.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
as you say that, I start to think about, so I do have a really good memory. I don't know why. I just do. I remember things back to the time I was 2. Not a lot of things, but just
Right.
pieces of things. So when I was 4, my mom had a boyfriend that broke out of jail, and he was high on PCP. And I was a 4-year-old little girl. We were living in this apartment, and it was hot. We didn't have air conditioning. And so I had my shirt off, and I was laying next to my mom on the couch. And her boyfriend broke the door open to our house. And then he thought I was another man because he was so high that he picked me up and he threw me against the wall. And I was so scared. I thought he was going to kill me. And I thought he was going to kill my mom. And so I crawled to the bathroom and I threw up and, kind of lost it all over myself. And then I stayed in there scared to death the entire night on that bathroom floor. And when I woke up in the morning, he was naked laying next to my mom in her bed. She was naked as well. And there was a bowl of throw up laying next to them. And I remember thinking to myself, just how disgusting. How disgusting is he? Like I had this anger towards men. I had this anger towards my mom for allowing that. And I think I carried that anger for a long time until I had my first really abusive relationship. And I realized I'm no different. It was kind of crazy. Yeah.
Well, that's what I find in my work is that when we trace the patterns back, they go even before your lifetime.
Yeah.
I had a client last week. She went back. She had a traumatic event that she tapped into that was actually her grandmother. It was a memory her grandmother had, but because of how our DNA works, you track 7 generations back. So it wasn't even her memory. She'd never even met that grandmother. So that's how it works. On the moment of conception, all dad's DNA and mom's DNA, all their wounds become yours.
Epigenetics.
Yep, you know about epigenetics.
Yep. Yeah, I was
Okay.
actually reading today about I've been getting into my horoscope and reading about how my south node points to the fact that my lifetime I'm supposed to heal a lot of my generational wounds. I'm supposed to heal a lot of the karma that was passed to me through my DNA.
So here you are.
So here I am.
Are you ready for it then? Because this is going to be really big for you. And before I ask you this, before we step into this, I'd like to ask, do I have your permission to get rid of the abandonment issue?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is the part where you're going to make yourself very relaxed. It's going to feel like a meditation because I'm working through levels of your subconscious. Okay. The big thing you need to know is that we're in there to express your emotions. When you go into your emotions, just know you're not going to be there forever. Once they're fully expressed, they're gone. They're out of your system. There are no more tears there's no more tears.
Okay.
Okay. So oftentimes some people, they don't let themselves go there. That's why I say it's so important that you're open, because if you're not open enough, then you're going to be resistant to feeling the emotions. And I need you to feel them.
Yeah, that's one of my bigger issues is I don't like crying. I feel like I'm taking up too much space.
Okay. Well,
Crying.
you get to get over that right now.
Okay. I will. I know. It's just a thing that I know about myself is I thought about it even when you said
it's a great thing.
I'm not going to cry.
I hear that often. And then at the end, they're like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
So some parts of this, your conscious mind might come in and be like, oh, what is this? This is weird, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Try and talk you out of it. Just sort of let those thoughts go. Say, no, I'm trusting the process, and sink back into your subconscious mind, because that's where this is. And then you might have this desire to open your eyes. And I need you to stay contained till the end so we can solidify it. Okay. So stay contained until I invite you to open your eyes.
Okay.
And then the other part is, the big thing is expressing the emotion, because it only takes 90 seconds if you have no resistance at all. It only takes 90 seconds to feel the emotions before they're gone, before they're fully dissolved. But if you resist it, which a lot of people tend to do, if you resist it, it takes longer.
Wow. That's a good thing to kind of take with me, because I do suppress a lot. So just kind of reminding myself.
So think of it like this, and you'll know this when I work with you in the colors in the body, because you're going to feel it. But the negative emotions that are trapped in your body, they feel very heavy to the body, right? And when they come out, you feel lighter. You almost feel high, because
I have 3 autoimmune diseases.
Right. Yeah. Which is created by all this trauma. You have had an intensely traumatic life experience. And guess what? That's why you are an ideal candidate for this.
Yeah.
for this treatment that I'm about to do on you. So that's the biggest thing. Don't resist the emotion, fully express it, let yourself go all the way into it. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to have you make your spine really, really straight.
Okay. Does it matter if I'm sitting in my recliner?
It doesn't matter. I just need you to just have the conscious awareness that your spine is straight and that you're in alignment, right? So that the top of your head is reaching towards the heavens. The bottom, your sit bones, the bottom of your spine is going down into the center of the earth, wrapping energetically around the core of the earth and up, coming back up through your body. So you're anchored to the earth. And I also want you to send your energy up to the moon, wrap your energy around the moon and bring it down through the top of your head. So both are meeting in your heart. And with your eyes closed, I want you to take a deep breath in. Imagine your heart opening to receiving those energies from above and below. Exhale out. Take 2 more big, deep, slow breaths in. That's right. Now I want you to become aware in your mind's eye that right above your head, directly above your head, is a big energy bubble. And this energy bubble is actually your healing energy bubble. It is safety and divine wisdom and peace. It is actually your set point. So I want you to become aware of this giant energy bubble above your head. And I want you to picture at the top of your head is a moon roof. And I would like you to just open up that moon roof easily, gently, effortlessly. And I want you to allow this energy bubble to move down through the top of your head. First impression, I want you to give this bubble a color. Any healing color that feels best to you right now, what color would that be?
Violet.
Violet. Perfect. So I want you to allow this violet energy to come down through the top of your head, filling you as it moves down, going down, down, down on a cellular level. So I want you to allow it to penetrate each cell in your right and left hemisphere. That's right, filling your entire brain with this beautiful violet energy, moving to fill your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your chin, your cheeks, your entire head with this healing, beautiful energy, allowing it to move down your neck and your throat, filling your heart center. That's right, seeing it open up each and every side of your heart, allowing in this beautiful energy. Allow it to move to your shoulders and down your arms to your elbows and your wrists, filling your fingers. That's right, going deeper, 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 deeper on a cellular level. That's right, moving down to your stomach, down to your hips, down to your knees, down to your feet, filling your entire body, going deeper into your organs and your muscles and your tissue. That's right, going deeper and deeper and deeper. I want you to take a big, deep, slow cleansing breath in. And I want you to exhale that bubble out, making a big bubble around your body. That's right, to capture your entire body in this healing, beautiful, peaceful energy bubble. Just letting it hold you, protect you, keep you safe, recognizing that this is your set point. That's right, feeling connected and loved. That's right. And as long as you're in this energy bubble, you are protected, you are held, and you are safe. And as you sit in this energy bubble, I want you to move your attention to the inside of your body. I want you to go inside of yourself. And I want you to connect to this place in your body where these feelings of abandonment sit. That's right, especially all the anger connected to this abandonment. And I want you to recognize, notice that there's a place in your body where these emotions are stemming from. First impression, take your hand and place it on that area. First impression, what color is it?
Blue.
Blue. So I want you to go into that blue. Right there on the top of your head, I want you to go right into the center of that blue. And I want you to notice, recognize, and observe that from that blue, as it's projecting out from your body, there's a screen. And I want you to allow that screen to get very, very clear. Because on this screen is the very first memory or series of pictures where you experienced these emotions. So allow that screen to get very, very clear till you recognize and notice the event or series of events connected to this blue. Let me know when you've got that. You've got it?
Yeah, I think
First,
so.
just trust your first instinct. First impression, how old are you?
Probably about 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Are you alone or are you with someone?
I am with my grandparents. My parents are in the process of getting a divorce, and there was a lot of tension. Just
You
everybody was tense.
you could put your hand down. Just stay connected to this image. I want you to be as descriptive as possible without giving anything meaning. What is happening in this image?
A bumblebee landed near my grandparents' car, and I got stung by that bumblebee. And I think it hurt, and I think everybody was so distracted by their own stuff and this divorce that they just maybe they didn't pay attention. I don't remember. I don't know why I even remember it, but
That's okay. I want you to allow that screen to get very, very clear. And I want you to notice how everyone is feeling in this image, in this memory.
oh, that's it. I was inconvenient at that time because everybody had this big divorce and this big move to deal with, and nobody wanted to be there, and I was hurt, and I had gotten stung by this bumblebee, and nobody wanted to. They were annoyed that I was requiring attention.
Mm, perfect. So I want you to move into this bubble, this blue bubble that this 3 or 4 year old version of you is in. I want you to move into it. And I actually want you to feel what she's feeling in this moment. I want you to feel on behalf of her. I want you to scoop her up in your arms. I want you to connect deeply with her emotional state. Look into her eyes. What is she feeling right now in this moment?
She's feeling like hiding away.
She's feeling like hiding away. What does she want to hide from?
She just doesn't want to be inconvenient or a burden
Mm-hmm. Why else does she want to hide away?
because everybody's anger and irritation is too heavy. She feels everything.
Mm-hmm. Does she feel like she's a burden?
Yeah,
Why does she feel like she's a burden?
because I think that's what kids do. They internalize everything around them.
But
So I
why does she feel like a burden?
maybe if she wasn't here, her parents wouldn't be fighting. They wouldn't be together still.
So
It
she
wouldn't be the
feels
stress.
so she feels responsible for them splitting up.
I think, yeah, I think that she feels responsible for everyone's tension and frustration.
Why does she feel responsible?
Because I think there's just it's the same over responsibility I feel as an adult, as if it's my job to carry this. It's my job um, to fix everything and make the environment okay for everyone.
Mm. What is she believing about herself in this moment?
That she isn't allowed to require anything.
What else is she believing about herself in this moment?
That just she's meant to take care of everyone else and be perfect and convenient and useful and helpful, and so when she picks up that annoyance from everyone because she had gotten hurt, it was for a second her human body and her child, the child in her, needed that nurturing,
Mm-hmm.
and she felt very ashamed because how dare I take up space, how dare I ask for that nurturing and that that care.
Who does she want to be nurtured by?
Anyone. But I,
Series of people. Start from
yes,
the top.
people, yeah, I think that's, I, I crave desperately to take up space. I almost to the point where, yeah, almost to the point where seeing other people take up space and take when I'm not connected to them is almost annoying, because it's like, how, what is it like? I guess, I don't know.
So look deeply into her eyes. I want you to connect with her, okay? I want you to look deep into her eyes, recognizing that she's inside of you and she is still feeling a lot of pain. And she has not been able to feel her pain because she's been disconnected from it. So I want you to let her know that you are going to feel it for her, that you came all the way back from the future to be with her in this moment, that she needed someone. She was so desperate. She wanted to be nurtured. I want you to let her know that you came back to give her that. So I want you to scoop her up in your arms and I want you to connect to her. And I want you to tell her how special she is. I want you to tell her that it isn't her responsibility to do anything for anyone. I want you to tell her that she's not responsible for everyone's emotions in the way that they feel, that she is not to blame. What else does she need to hear from you in this moment?
She just needs understanding and validation that she's not crazy, um, and validation that hurts, and it's okay to hurt, and we're going to get through it. And
So, can you give her that? Okay, so I want you to allow, I'm seeing a block here. You're disconnecting from her, and I want you to look deep in her eyes and recognize that she is you and you are her, and she is still in pain. What is it that you're using big girl words? She didn't have this vocabulary. So I want you to speak to her. I want you to say, what are you feeling right now? And what is her response?
I'm feeling hurt, and I'm feeling afraid to tell you I'm hurt because I don't want to give you stress, and I don't want to make you feel or be something that you have to take care of.
What does she need so desperately in this moment?
She, she needs me to give her a hug and tell her, "Gosh, I'm so sorry that hurts. I, I, I've been stung before. I get that. That's totally painful, and I'm sure you're really scared that there's so much anger around you, and there's been so much fighting between your parents, and I'm sure you don't know how to understand it fully. And I'm sure you see all these adults around that have always made you, feel like they were the people that were to take care of you, but they don't know what to do either."
Okay, so I
So
want you to grab a hold of her hand and I want you to take her to her mom. I want you to take her directly to her mom. And you know what? I want you to speak on behalf of this 3 or 4 year old girl who is in pain, who needs her mom, who needed to be nurtured and did not have that. And I want you to speak to her for your 3 year old self. So I want you to see her standing there and you got her hand, your 3 year old self's hand, and you're speaking for her. Mom,
I need you to take a break for a few minutes. I need you to focus. I need you, she needs a hug. She needs you to hold her. She needs you to just give her some time and let her know that everything's going to be all right. I need you to stop focusing on who's right and wrong between everyone and trying to protect your ego, and just hold her for a second and let her know that she's okay and she's loved no matter what.
what else?
Yeah,
Deeper.
I know you don't know what this looks like. Both of your parents died by the time you were 6. So I know you don't really understand exactly how to model this, because you had a distant mom too. So you don't know what nurturing looks like, and you don't know what a mom's supposed to do.
Let the
But
emotion
all
come up.
is a hug and to feel protected.
What else does she need from her mom? How can her mom make her feel protected?
By turning off the noise around and just giving her full focus for
Mhm.
just a split second, making her feel like she's the only one there for a split second, not forever, but just for a moment. Just let her know that her pain is valid
Mhm.
and that she's not a burden.
Mhm. We're going to go back to your mom at 6 years old. We're going to go all the way back. I want you to be in the room with your mom's 6-year-old self. Be in that room. It may feel like your imagination, that's okay, but I want you to be in that room. See your mom at age 6 years old. Allow that image of where she's at to become very, very clear. What's the scene? Is she in a room? Is she in a house? Where is she?
It's it's tying back to a story that I can clearly envision from her. Um, her my grandmother had gotten a backstreet abortion because they were illegal back then, and so she ended up dying on the bathroom floor. And that next morning, the coroner was there and the police were there doing a death investigation. There was 4 kids. My mom was 6. My uncle Randy was 4, and he's the one that found her on the bathroom floor. And the neighbor girl was sitting outside on this stoop, and she said, "Melanie, I have a mommy, and your mommy's dead." And she felt off. She felt like she wasn't normal. Her dad had already died.
I want you to scoop her up in your arms and I want you to connect with her deeply. I want you to look into her eyes. All of the pain she carried is inside of you. So I want you to let her know that you've come all the way back from the future to be with her in this moment and to feel this for her. I want you to let her know that you're the hero, that you're going to feel it for her.
I'm going to feel this for you.
Mm-hmm. It's safe to feel it for her because she's in pain now, still living on within you in all this pain. So I want you to let it move through you, up and out, up and out. Feel it, move into it. I want you to let her know that you've come back to be with her, to feel this for her, and to show her the love that she needs in this moment. What else does she need to hear from you right now in this moment?
I'm sure you're scared. And I'm sure this is really painful for you. You don't know what's going to happen. And I'm sure you feel really different from that little girl who's telling you she has a mommy. And I'm sure you were kind of confused. You didn't know what was going on. And with that little girl telling you that, it's starting to dawn on you. But I want you to understand that this is, it's going to get easier.
Mm-hmm. I want you to tell her that everything's going to be okay. I want
Everything.
you to tell her. Go ahead.
You don't need to carry this with you. You don't need to bury it away. I'm going to be by you. I'm going to be by your side. I'm going to be here and take care of you so that you always understand you have a purpose and you have a place.
Mm-hmm. I want you to see it like a backpack she's carrying on her back, like all this pain in the backpack. And I want you to take the backpack off of her. And I want you to start and begin to pull the bricks out of her backpack. All these bricks, one by one, the shame, the pain that she's carrying around. I want you to take each brick out, recognizing what it represents. Shame, shame, pain. What's another representation of what she's carrying around in that bag?
Anger,
Anger,
fear,
fear.
shame,
Mm-hmm.
insecurity. I think just
Mm-hmm.
feeling unsure and unsafe.
Any resentment?
Yeah.
Now, there's some things that you can place in this backpack that are light as a feather. Things like peace and joy and bliss and ease. I want you to think of feathers. Think of something super, super light. And I want you to put in this backpack all these beautiful divine things that she gets to choose from this new place. Peace, joy, love. What are some other ones that she'd like?
Protection, comfort, just being able to rest and know that you don't owe anybody anything or nothing is required of you, but just to be yourself and be at peace.
What else?
Warmth, light, a hug, just the just being surrounded by comfort and kindness and being surrounded by angels.
Love that. So I want you to zip up this bag and put it on her back. Just see that look of ease and lightness come over her as you just removed a heavy, heavy load from her back that she doesn't have to carry anymore from this point forward. I want you to give her a hug. And I want you to let her know that anytime she needs you, that you will come back for her, that you're her hero, that you're her mom now, and that you're going to take care of her because she is you and you are her. And there is no separation, but only connection. So I want you to give her your lavender bubble. I want you to tell her that this bubble, as long as you stay connected to this bubble, you will feel loved and supported, secure, joyful, light. I want you to tell her that anytime she gets scared, that all she has to do is connect with this bubble and she will feel that peace. And I want you to let her know that anytime she needs you, you'll come back. And I would like you to come up with a code, some way that she can call on you when she needs you. Discuss that with her and come up with some sort of signal that she can let you know that she needs you. You got it?
I'm feeling unsafe. If she tells me I'm feeling unsafe,
Perfect.
I will be there.
Perfect. I want you to keep your word on this. When she calls to you, I want you to come back for her. This is how she's going to learn how to trust you. This is how you're going to nurture and foster this relationship. So tell her you will be back whenever she lets you know that she's feeling unsafe. I want you to give her a big hug goodbye. And you can either leave that place or you can put her in your heart. Which feels better to you?
I'm gonna leave that place.
Okay. I want you to go up about 30 feet above that scene. And I want you to make your way up, up, and then back. Back, all the way to the present moment. Back, all the way through her lifetime to your lifetime, the moment of your birth, all the way 5, 10, 15, coming all the way back to the present moment, all the way back. And as you do, I want you to look down in your mind's eye and see all the old structures changing. That's right. Time literally changing. Patterns literally changing to match this new thing that you created. All the old structures dissolving, resolving with ease and grace and flow, falling away as you make your way back to the present moment. And in their place, brand new, solid, loving, beautiful structures being created in those old pathways, this new system. And as you make your way back to the present, stopping right there in the present moment, looking down, seeing you sitting there in that chair, and making your way down to reintegrate all these different pieces of you back into the body, all realigning. And as you make your way down, feel those new pathways, those new codes regenerating each cell, moving down as you open that moonroof to allow in your body, coming down through your head, your shoulders, your hips, and your feet totally realigning, recalibrating, and recoding each cell of your body with this new system of your choosing. Taking a deep breath in, exhaling all the resistance, anything that no longer serves, anything that is no longer in alignment to this new code. Letting it go with ease. Coming back into the body, wiggling your fingers and toes, coming back into the moment. Taking a deep breath in and batting your eyes open when you're ready. How do you feel?
Warm.
Warm?
Yes. I feel like I need to do that more often, just kind of like envision the.
Yeah. Did you notice? Well, you probably didn't because you don't do this all the time, and I do. But did you notice your resistance to connecting with your little self?
Yeah. Yep.
So here's where you're at. I know that you've been doing the inner work, but there's still very much a disconnect from your pain. And that's okay because there's a lot of clients I work with, and it takes a couple of sessions for them to fully, plug back in. Because when someone's had as much trauma as you have early in life, what you learn to do, how you learn to exist and get through it, is by unplugging from your emotions, saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
can't feel that," right? So what we get to do is plug back in fully. And before you can do that, you have to believe that your emotions are safe. So on a daily basis, you get to remind yourself that all of your emotions, the anger, the pain, all of them, they're all safe. And this little girl, she gets to feel this pain because she went through a lot. And she needs to be heard, and she needs to be seen, and she needs to be felt on a very deep level. And so it was a lot easier. I don't know if you noticed, it was a lot easier for you to connect to your mom.
Yeah.
You could connect to her pain much easier than you could your own.
Yeah, definitely. I've had a Reiki session. Well, it's kind of a medium Reiki session before. She told me that I was her mom in a past life. So when she passed, it felt very much like I lost my child. It was really tough. And I don't mean to say that and be negative to anybody that has lost a child, because I could not even imagine, but it felt very much like that. And I was compelled to hold her hand and pray her out of this world as she passed. And it was really, that was really a moment for me when everything changed in my life. It's pretty, so I've been on this journey ever since.
Mm-hmm. How are you feeling now?
Grateful. I know it sounds funny, but I feel kind of special.
You do?
Yeah, because I feel like I was entrusted with this responsibility to heal all of this, and um, to go through the tough stuff for generations of my family, and because I'm strong enough to do it.
Mm-hmm. And this is just the time in history too, because this is all being revealed right now. It wasn't revealed during your mom's time. Wasn't
Yeah,
revealed during her parents' time. It's being revealed now because now for anyone who's on the planet right now, that's what we're about for those who are transitioning into the new earth. So, yeah, this is just step one for you. But I would really, really start with connecting back in with your emotions
yeah, yeah,
and constantly telling yourself that it's safe to feel all of them because you still have some judgments around the pain and anger.
yeah, yeah. I've realized now that I've really made kind of a whole life around disconnecting from feeling anything. Like I work a lot. I I work, or I'll just everything. Gosh, yeah.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that's the self-care piece that I never really understood, was allowing myself to feel things and to take
So,
up.
so if you want to allow yourself to have more self-care, right? As you put it, and you're redefining a new belief system, what do you need to do? What is this self-care that you need to do?
I need to go to the gym and I need to eat healthy. And I think now that I've cleared some of that stuff away, I'm realizing some of my other aversion to that. It's like I've cleared away a, some pieces of my problems, and so now I'm starting to realize that I'm actively resisting that because I'm afraid to look good and get attention.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy? I've
it's not crazy at all. I can't tell you how often I come across that. See,
yeah.
here's the thing. You can have anything that you want in your life. It's getting to the belief. What is the belief standing in your way of having it? So just the fact that you connected, did you just connect that now?
Yeah, and I think that it was covered up by other stuff. So I think that the work here is kind of helped take that layer off and expose another layer.
You know what? That's very true. Extra weight that we carry on the body is protection. That's how the subconscious mind protects us. So whenever I have like just impulsively like gained 20 or 30 pounds in a really short period of time, I always follow it back to what is the fear that crept in. And
Yeah.
so that's what I work on. It's always the subconscious job to keep you protected. Everything it does is to keep you safe. So every part of your environment has to do with your belief system. So, my darling, it has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you for letting me in and going all in. If you would like to if you would like to do more work with me, I'd love to show you what that could look like. But regardless of what you do from this point, do something to continue working on a deep level. Like sometimes my stuff honestly is just too deep for some people, but do something where you're going deep within to shift those belief systems because I would not, I'm begging you, please don't get into a relationship or even start looking around or allowing anything until you start working on these wounds because you will attract another one of these terrible men because it's what you believe you're worth having. So please, that is my only request is that you continue working on this piece. Okay, before you allow anyone into your life, you have to be so devoted and so in love with yourself that you will never, ever, ever allow someone to treat you in these despicable ways. And that's what I do with my clients. It's like I teach them to have this very beautiful relationship with their little self and look at you as what would you let your daughter get into a relationship with these men?
Yeah.
Like, no. That's where I need you to get to the place where you are so in love and honoring of yourself that no one gets to treat you like that. Yeah. So thank you, my darling. You
Thank
know
you.
where to find me. And I will have some workshops coming up that you could, take part in, but please keep going on this journey
I will. This
because
is super eye-opening.
what's that?
I said I will definitely. This was super eye-opening.
Okay, perfect. And if you could leave me a review, that would be awesome. I
Will
rely
do.
on those reviews to, continue to attract women like you. I get a lot of women that have been involved in domestic violence, and we're in the middle of creating a program where we can work on you guys for free, like get sponsorships and whatnot. Like that's my deepest desire for women that cannot afford these services but need it because
Yeah.
they can't keep doing you can't keep doing this pattern. You
Yeah.
can't let anyone treat you like that ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That my nose reconstruction is actually through a pro bono um, charity for domestic violence. So it's I'm very grateful for it because I wouldn't have been able to
Yeah.
come up for it. So
Yeah. Okay, my darling. Well, it was so wonderful. Did you freeze? Oh, there you are.
I'm here.
Reach out if you need anything. And thank you so much for letting me
Thank you.
have this time with you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, hun. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.